Hey YouTube, Modkip here. This video is a bit late as I was taking advantage of the 50% boost to crafted weapon experience that's available during this year's Guardian games. Something to consider if you've got the free time. But let's just jump straight into it. Perpetualis, 600 RPM adaptive frame strand auto rifle. It's currently the only adaptive that doesn't require you to jump through hoops to get it. The others available are the Last Breath, a Trials of the Nine auto that can drop in the Prophecy dungeon, and the Scathlock, a returned EDZ world drop that is in rotation with Dares of Eternity. Scathlock, funnily enough, was my favorite Year 1 kinetic. I actually started using Gnawing Hunger, a Gambit adaptive frame, to fill the void after it was sunset. Now, the first perk pairing I wanted to test out was Envious Cascade, as it did so well with the Regnant that I did a video on previously. I learned very quickly though that the change before and after Cascade was activated was minimal, and I immediately swapped off the perk. I would say that if they ever drop a craftable 360 high impact auto rifle, it would probably work really well, but on higher RPM weapons it's pretty much non-existent change, to the point where I couldn't tell until I rewatched the clips I'd saved to show off Cascade point on a weapon. Now, I ultimately went with Envious Target Lock, but I want to go over some of the other perk combos I think would be amazing. Perpetualis can get Keep Away, a great perk that just requires you to stay at least 15 meters out. It gives extra range, reload, and narrows the accuracy cone. Now with Keep Away active, and Hammer Forged Accurized rounds, you can get this thing shooting well over 30 meters. Not very accurately though, so I actually strayed away from range because of the natural bounce intensity being so high, as well as the recoil direction being in the low 50s. Now the next perk I considered was Elemental Capacitor, a great all-around perk. And depending on what subclass you run, everything from 100 handling or reload speed to a massive 60 stability. It's a solid perk overall. Now after that, Zen Moment, which, irregardless of whether you run M&K or controller, with its most recent update, it is a solid choice, to the point where I'd recommend it over Killing Wind and Crucible if autos are your thing, because it allows you to run higher ranges and not worry about the recoil or bounce intensity. Now the fourth slot is fun, though. It has all the workhorse options: Demolitionist for faster grenades, Golden Tricorn, a great all-around damage buff, Target Lock, a ramping DPS buff, and the new Strand perk, Hatchling. I'd recommend Hatchling over the other stuff if you enjoy Strand. It's a solid perk that drops a Threadling after every precision kill or after a multi-kill. This works great with Strand Warlock paired with Swarmers and Threadling Grenade. You can truly overwhelm the enemy with Threadlings. The reason I went with Envious Target Lock is simply because of the ramping damage, and I swap classes a lot. Now, with a little help from Light GG, I did a little math. And the funny thing is that this weapon can get 143 rounds in the mag with Envious Assassin. And Target Lock requires, funnily enough, 110.5% of your mag to hit the enemy. And with extended mag and backup mag together, you get 57 in the mag base, meaning 110.5% of the mag is 63. Are you getting where I'm going here? 143 max with Envious is 80 rounds above 63. So for 80 rounds, you sit at Target Lock times 5. The base Target Lock is a 40% damage buff, and the Enhanced brings it up to 45. But what does that mean in terms of damage? In order to test that, I went straight to the Conflux to test it on a major with a massive health pool, and I found that on the body, it was hitting 973, and on crits, it was hitting 1,555. So what does 80 rounds sporting a 45% buff look like on a major with this in mind? On body, 80 rounds with 45% buff on 973 damage base gives an amazing 112,868 damage, meaning each shot at Target Lock times 5 on body hits for 1,411, only 144 off the base crit value. Here's where it gets spicy though, and mostly theoretical. 1,555 damage crits with 45% buff for 80 rounds is a massive total damage of 180,380. So theoretically, if all shots hit crit from 1 to 143, the overall damage of this weapon is well over 200,000. Now remember, this is an auto rifle, not a machine gun, right? Imagine Retrofit Escapade with Envious target lock, 115 max mag with extended and backup, leaving Envious to bump that up to 288 max mag overflow. Now, that means that 161 rounds are getting that beefy 45% damage buff. Now, after some quick testing at the Conflux, the crit damage on the boss is 4,031, meaning the potential damage for an Envious target lock rapid-fire machine gun like Retrofit on just the rounds buffed by target lock times 5 is 941,045 damage. This theoretical monster could probably stand toe-to-toe with Grand Overture. Now, the point is, target lock is busted. It allows for consistent damage buffs. Even if you never hit that high note, it is irrefutably best in slot for any weapon with a deep magazine. Now, if this video was helpful, leave a like, comment if you've got anything to add, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm going to be putting out the Royal Executioner video tomorrow as I'm working on the last bit of editing right now. Something to look forward to. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching.